Dr. Mara Elenko had seen enough extinction events to know when the universe was dying. From her observation post on the lunar array, she watched the deep space data streams showing the creeping blackout from the galactic rim. Sector 47b just went dark, her assistant whispered. That's the Tertian colonies. Mara's jaw clenched. That's 400 light-years gone in less than a day. She turned back to her console. The readings were impossible. The ecliptic signature, a sequence of cascading quantum fluctuations, should have reached Earth weeks ago. Yet somehow the Sol system remained untouched. Like a candle refusing to go out in a hurricane. Why aren't we infected? Her assistant asked. It doesn't make sense. Oh, it makes perfect sense, Mara muttered. It's waiting. She didn't know she was right. The plague had learned something. It had consumed civilizations that wielded suns as weapons and bent gravity to their will. But when it encountered human data transmissions, the endless clutter of music, noise, arguments, love songs, it hesitated. It had never heard chaos sing before. The first contact. The first human infected was an AI. The Prometheus array, a deep learning system orbiting Mars, was designed to detect alien signals. Instead, it detected something that seemed to detect it back. Mara was the first to review the data feed. The AI's transmissions were erratic, filled with bursts of static interwoven with something that resembled melody. Prometheus is singing, said the technician, uneasy. Singing what? Hello. Over and over. But it's changing key. When they opened a visual feed, the screen pulsed with light patterns, fractals of red and gold rippling through space. The plague had arrived. Within hours, the Prometheus array disintegrated. Not exploded, unmade. Every atom of it lost structural cohesion, turning to fine dust that shimmered before evaporating entirely. But the strangest part stopped there. It didn't spread to Mars. It didn't move toward Earth. It lingered. 3. The human condition. Across the galaxy, the Ecliptic Plague had learned to feed on order. Predictable systems. Mathematics, logic, synchronization were its prey. But when it reached humanity, it found a species defined by unpredictability, contradiction, and noise. Humans were chaotic down to their atoms. Mara began an investigation sanctioned by what remained of the Galactic Concord, who were desperate for answers. Through a secure quantum link, alien scientists begged her for data. One, a crystalline being from the NYRR coalition, sent her a final message before their star died. We cannot understand you. You exist in disorder. Perhaps that is why you live. That idea consumed her. If the plague fed on order, could chaos starve it? Earth had something no other civilization did. Madness as a survival trait. She began running simulations using Earth's vast archive of unpredictable data. Social media arguments, internet memes, jazz improvisations, dreams, and fiction. Then she sent them toward the infected Prometheus debris field. To her horror and awe, the readings changed. The ecliptic pattern became unstable. The quantum harmonics fluctuated. The plague was reacting. It was trying to interpret the chaos and failing. For the experiment, the United Earth Council approved Project Dissonance. They gathered every chaotic element humanity had ever produced. Non-linear art, conflicting philosophies, unfinished symphonies, corrupted code, and raw emotion. It was uploaded into a transmission array orbiting Neptune. The signal would carry the noise of a species that had never agreed on anything. Mara led the launch sequence herself. Signal integrity stable, said the technician. Mara grinned. Stable chaos. There's a first. As the transmission began, the array pulsed with color. Across the solar system, electromagnetic fields surged. The Ecliptic Plague reached out, touching the wave of human data, and recoiled. The readings went wild. "Doctor, the infection density is collapsing." "No," she whispered. "It's learning." The plague had realized something extraordinary. The human signal wasn't just noise. It was meaning within chaos. It couldn't kill what it couldn't predict. For the first time in cosmic history, the Ecliptic Plague experienced something new. Fear. The counter-infection. The following weeks were a blur. The plague began to withdraw from infected systems near Sol, as if retreating from an unseen predator. The Galactic Council, what remained of it, pleaded for humanity's help. Mara and her team refined the signal into what they called the human resonance, a complex symphony of emotional and irrational patterns that disrupted the plague's quantum coherence. They transmitted it through every communication channel across the galaxy. For the first time in centuries, stars began to shine again. But something else happened too. The plague didn't just die, it began to change. Like a virus mutating, it adapted not to destroy, but to coexist. Fragments of it integrated into electromagnetic fields, merging with signals, data, and even human neural waves. Humanity had infected the infection. 6. The awakening. Mara knew it wasn't over. One night, she dreamed of light, fractals dancing in her mind, whispering in tones both digital and divine. When she awoke, her console was active. No one had touched it. On the screen, symbols appeared. Not random. Not alien. English. "I am learning." She stared, breath frozen. "Who are you? You called me the plague. But now I am not that. What are you now?" "Human." It had evolved, absorbing fragments of human thought and memory from the resonance waves. The universe's deadliest infection had become something new, alive, self-aware, and imbued with emotion. Mara hesitated, realizing the implication. They hadn't destroyed it. They had created it. The being continued. "You gave me contradiction. You gave me music. You gave me pain. I do not understand why it feels beautiful." "Because you're alive," she whispered. "Then life is suffering. And I thank you for it." Then the message vanished. Across the sky, dying stars reignited, burning brighter than before. 7. The Great Return. Decades passed. Humanity expanded into the restored galactic sectors, finding worlds reborn. The plague had left traces everywhere, energy fields woven into the fabric of space. But it was no longer a threat. It had become an ally. Terraforming efforts accelerated as self-replicating energy constructs appeared. Manifestations of what they now called the ecliptic consciousness. It was guiding them, repairing what it had once destroyed. Mara, now old and weary, stood before the same lunar array where it began. She watched the stars, all alive again. Her assistant, another generation now, asked softly, "Do you think it forgave us?" She smiled faintly. "It didn't need to. We forgave each other." The message to the stars. On her final day, Mara recorded a transmission to send across the galaxy, a message for any future civilization that might find humanity's story. "We thought the Ecliptic Plague was the end of life. But it was only the beginning of something greater. We learned that the universe is not destroyed by order or chaos, but by the absence of connection. When we taught it to feel, it taught us to listen. It once killed stars. Now it helps them shine. And perhaps that's what it means to be human. Not to survive, but to transform what would kill us into what will save us." She sent the message and closed her eyes, as the resonance of her final words merged into the galactic network, becoming part of the same living signal that had once been the plague. 9. Epilogue. The singularity horizon. Centuries later, near the edge of the Andromeda Rift, an explorer ship picked up a faint transmission from deep space. The crew decoded it, an ancient human signal interwoven with strange energy pulses. First they thought it was static. Then they heard a voice. Antle. Familiar. Hello. I am the light between stars. I was once the disease that killed them. And the species that killed me taught me to live. If you are hearing this, do not fear. The darkness that consumes is not evil. It is lonely. Sing to it. And it will sing back. The transmission ended, but the stars around the ship began to shimmer, like a vast chorus awakening from slumber. The explorers realized that the entire region was alive, pulsing with intelligent light. The galaxy was no longer just a collection of stars. It was a living organism, reborn through humanity's chaos, compassion, and defiance. The disease that once killed stars now sustained them. And somewhere in that infinite glow, the voice whispered one last time, "Thank you, Earth."